get it rocking and rolling, I'm making some good meat sauce. And this is my version. So I'm just going to go over the ingredients. So you're going to need about a pound of regular ground beef. And I was only able to find 80-20. I like the leanest version. I usually get like 90-10 if I can find it. And then you want to get a pound of Italian sausage. You want to make sure you have some bay leaves. I like the fresh bay leaves. I like fresh basil, oregano. I have some garlic here. I have season of choice. I like nature seasoning because it's mild. I also use the dry basil leaves. I like the granulated garlic. I use a granulated onion. I also use a whole white onion. You can use yellow onion or white onion. Don't use red. A can of crushed tomatoes. This is a 24-ounce can. And then I have a 24-ounce can of diced tomatoes just because I like mine kind of chunky. And I also have a small can of tomato paste. So let's get this bad boy rocking and rolling. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start browning my meat. And I always cook my meat until it's done. And while I'm doing this, I like to break it down as well. While I'm breaking it up, this is where I like to hit it with some of my seasonings. And like I said earlier, you can use your season of choice. So now that I've cooked all the red out of it, I'm getting ready to go ahead and drain my meat, and I'm going to start stir frying my veggies in the same pot. I add a little bit of oil so I can get these vegetables nice and soft. So I'm going to start with that garlic and go ahead and mix it with the onions. Add a little salt and pepper on my onion and garlic mixture, and this is honestly just for kicks and giggles. There we go. Now I'm going to add that half cup of red wine in there, and I'm just going to let it simmer for a little bit. Now I'm going to go ahead and add that drained meat back in my pot. Mix that in there. And you want to make sure you got a pot that's big enough, because once you add the tomatoes in there, it's going to start to fill up. So you can use this for a lot of different things. You can also freeze this sauce. You can use it for lasagna. You can use it for spaghetti. You can just freeze it and use it individually, whatever you want. I'm actually making spaghetti squash boats out of them. And that's going to be in my next video. I just wanted to show you guys how I mixed up the flavor of this sauce. I'm going in with those crushed tomatoes. Now these diced tomatoes. And then I'm going to add this tomato paste. And I'm also adding in a tablespoon of sugar. That's optional. I'll add that in the ingredients below. Actually, I'm not going to use the whole can of tomato paste. I'm only going to use half because I don't want it to be too thick. So half a can of tomato paste. If you're making a whole lot more, then you can use a whole can. But I don't want it to be too thick because that tomato paste makes it real thick. Going in with that tablespoon of sugar. And again, that's optional. You don't have to put sugar in. I just like to put sugar in my sauce just to offset some of that, you know, the bitterness from the onions and the garlic. I just like it to offset it. Doesn't make it sweet. I'm going in with that dry basil, and I'm not measuring it because y'all, I love my flavors. Now I'm going in with the oregano. This is dry oregano. You can use fresh ingredients as well. I'm also going to put a couple of bay leaves in here. And then I will be taking them out, of course, before I use them. And then you can also hit it with some more garlic powder and onion powder if you like. But I would say taste, taste, taste. and, you know, discover how you like it. And you could just add accordingly. I usually put my bay leaves in last so that way I can see it whenever the sauce is simmered. And I always let my sauce simmer for a good 45 minutes to an hour. So I'm going to go ahead and cut up some fresh basil leaves. I always put fresh basil after I'm done on top of whatever it is I'm making too. But I do like my basil to cook into my sauce as well. And no fear, the leaves will shrink and they'll be edible as you go. I just like that basil pop. Now I'm going to go ahead and add in those bay leaves so that way they can just cook and get in that flavor. And we'll come back in about 45 minutes to an hour. I'll show you how it is, guys. Yeah, baby. Oh, and make sure you cover your sauce as well. All right, folks, it's been 45 minutes. I wanted to show you guys how it's looking. Ooh, yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn it off. And I'm just going to let it sit here. And it'll still keep cooking a little bit. But this is how I like mine. Thick and chunky. So, thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate all the love and support. If you like what you've seen and you want more of it, please hit the like, subscribe, and the notification bell so that way you can be uploaded each and every time I upload content. And I will see you guys in the next video. And until next time, peace out.